yourself first. Hold up. You're probably missing obvious signs that women are into you right now. Signal number 7 will blow your mind, but you gotta stick around till the end. Let's go. 1. The mirror effect. Her unconscious mimicry. Let me tell you something that some guys completely miss. When they're talking to a woman they're interested in. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, her body starts doing something absolutely fascinating without her even realizing it. She begins to mirror your movements and gestures. This isn't some trick, she's consciously playing. It's her brain's way of saying, I'm connected to this person. Pay attention next time you're having a conversation with someone you're interested in. Does she pick up her drink right after you do? Does she lean in when you lean in? Does she cross her legs in the same direction as yours? This mirroring behavior is rooted in deep psychological programming that goes back thousands of years. It's a sign of rapport, trust, and most importantly, attraction. The beautiful thing about this signal is that it's almost impossible to fake constantly because it happens on a subconscious level. When you notice a woman mirroring your body language, it means her mind and body are literally trying to sync up with yours. She's creating harmony between you two without even thinking about it. This is one of the most reliable indicators of interest, and because it bypasses all the games, all the playing hard to get, and all the social conditioning that tells women to hide their feelings. Her body is revealing what her words might not be saying yet. So here's what you should do with this knowledge. First, become more aware of your own body language and positioning during conversations. Second, watch for these mirroring behaviors, but don't make it obvious that you're looking for them. And third, when you notice it happening, you can actually amplify the connection by being more intentional with your own movements, creating a beautiful dance of nonverbal communication that deepens the attraction between you both. This is psychology in action, and once you start seeing it, you'll never miss it again. 2. The lingering eye contact that says everything. Eye contact is probably the most powerful form of nonverbal communication that exists between two human beings. And when a woman is attracted to you, the way she uses her eyes changes in very specific and noticeable ways. We're not talking about the polite glances you exchange with strangers or the professional eye contact you maintain during a work meeting. When a woman likes you, her eye contact becomes something entirely different. It lingers just a bit longer than necessary. It's softer, warmer, and it carries an energy that you can actually feel. Here's the thing that most dating advice gets wrong. They tell you to count the seconds of eye contact or to look for some exact formula, but a real attraction doesn't work like a math equation. What you're looking for is the quality of the eye contact, not just the quantity. When she looks at you and holds your gaze, does it feel comfortable or does it feel charged with something more? Does she look away quickly like she's embarrassed as she got caught staring, or does she maintain that connection with a slight smile playing on her lips? Women who are interested in you will often do this thing where they look at you, look away, and then look back again to see if you're still looking at them. It's like a little game of visual ping pong that creates tension and excitement. The psychology behind this is incredibly deep. Prolonged eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that's released during physical intimacy. So when a woman is willing to hold your gaze, she is essentially opening the door to a deeper connection. Now, here's how you can use this in your daily life. When you're talking to someone you're interested in, practice being comfortable with extended eye contact. Don't stare intensely like a creep, but also don't be the first one to look away every single time. Let the moment breathe, let the connection build, and when you notice her doing that, look away and look back move. That's your green light that something real is happening between you two. There's a simple shift in how you understand and respond to eye contact can completely transform your dating life, because you'll start picking up on interest that you've been missing online. Before we continue, like this video and subscribe. Trust me, you'll want these dating tips in your feed. It takes 2 seconds. Done. Let's go. 3. The touch barrier. When she finds excuses to make physical contact, physical touch is one of the most obvious yet frequently misunderstood signals that a woman sends when she's attracted to you. And the reason so many guys miss it is because they're looking for grand gestures when the reality is much more subtle and nuanced. When a woman likes you, she'll find little reasons to break the touch barrier. A hand on your arm when she's laughing at your joke, adjusting your collar, or brushing something off your shoulder, playfully hitting you when you tease her, or standing just a bit closer than necessary when you're talking. These aren't accidents, these are calculated moves. Even if she's not consciously aware, she's making them. From a psychological standpoint, touch is how we communicate interest and test boundaries in a way that words simply can't. It's her way of saying, I'm comfortable with you being in my personal space, and I want to see how you respond to my touch. The fascinating part is that women are generally more cautious about physical touch than men, especially when people they don't know well or don't feel safe around. So when a woman is initiating touch with you, she's already made a decision on some level that you're someone she trusts and is attracted to. The key is to understand the difference between friendly touch and flirtatious touch. Friendly touch is brief, impersonal, and doesn't carry any lingering energy. Flirtatious touch lingers just a moment longer. It's often accompanied by eye contact or a smile, and it happens in areas that are more personal, the forearm, arm at the knee when standing next to each other, or even playing with her hair while talking to you. Here's what you need to do when you notice these touches. Reciprocate appropriately. If she touches your arm, it's perfectly fine to touch her shoulder or arm back in a natural, non-creepy way during conversation. This shows her that you're receptive to the connection she's trying to build. But here's the crucial part: always pay attention to her response. If she leans into your touch or continues to find reasons to touch you, you're on the right track. If she pulls back or seems uncomfortable, respect that boundary immediately. Understanding and properly responding to these touch signals is essential for building romantic connections in real life. And once you start noticing these patterns, you'll have a much clearer picture of who's actually interested in you versus who's just being friendly. For the laugh factor, how her laughter reveals her interest. Laughter is one of the most underrated indicators of attraction, and if you pay close attention to how and when a woman laughs around you, you'll unlock a treasure trove of information about how she really feels. Here's a psychological truth that will change how you view your interactions. When a woman is attracted to you, she'll laugh at things you say that honestly aren't that funny. I'm not saying you need to be a comedian or that you should intentionally tell bad jokes, but what I am saying is that attraction has this magical effect of lowering the threshold for what she finds humorous. This happens because laughter is a bonding mechanism, and when she likes you, her brain is looking for opportunities to create positive associations and shared moments of joy with you. Watch how she responds to your humor compared to how she responds to other people's humor. Does she laugh harder and longer when you make a joke? Does she throw her head back or touch your arm while she's laughing? Does she maintain eye contact with you while she's laughing, like she's sharing an intimate moment? These are all amplified signals of interest. The science behind this is actually pretty straightforward. Laughter releases endorphins and creates feelings of happiness and connection. When a woman likes you, she subconsciously wants to experience these positive emotions in your presence, so she becomes more receptive to anything that might trigger them. But here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not just about her laughing at your jokes. Pay attention to whether she tries to make you laugh too. When a woman is attracted to you, she'll put effort into being playful, witty, and entertaining because she wants to see you smile and laugh in response. It's two-way street of joy and connection. In your daily interactions, use this knowledge to create more moments of genuine laughter and playfulness. Don't force it or try too hard, but do allow yourself to be more lighthearted and fun when you're around someone you're interested in. And when you notice that she's laughing easily and genuinely with you, recognize it for what it is: A clear sign that she enjoys your company and is likely attracted to you. This shifts the entire dynamic because you stop second guessing yourself and start building on the positive energy that's already there between you. 5. The question game. When she shows genuine curiosity about your life, one of the most telling signs that a woman is interested in you is the quality and quantity of questions that she asks about your life. And this goes way beyond simple small talk or polite conversation. When a woman likes you, she becomes genuinely curious about who you are, or what makes you tick, what your dreams are, and what your life story looks like. She is not asking these questions just to fill awkward silence. She is asking because she's trying to figure out if you're someone she could potentially build someone with. This is rooted in evolutionary psychology, where women are naturally more selective about their romantic partners and need to gather information before deciding if someone is worth their emotional investment. Pay attention to the types of questions she asks. Is she asking several level stuff like what do you do for work and leaving it at that? Or is she digging deeper with follow-up questions like what makes you choose that career, or what do you love most about what you do? The deeper the questions, the stronger her interest. When a woman asks about your family, your childhood, your passions, your future goals, or your past relationships, she is essentially conducting research on whether you're compatible with her vision of what she wants in a partner. And here's something most guys don't realize: when she remembers small details from previous conversations and brings them up later, that's massive. That means you've been on her mind even where you're not around. She's been thinking about the things you told her, processing them and storing them in her memory because you matter to her. In practical terms, here's how you should handle this. First, be open and genuine when answering her questions. Don't put on a fake persona or try to be someone you're not, because that always backfires. Eventually, second, make sure you're asking questions about her life too. Attraction is about mutual interest and connection, not a one-way interview. Third, notice if she lights up when talking about certain topics, or if she steers the conversation toward shared interests and values. These are all signs that she's not just curious about you, she's actively looking for common ground and compatibility. When you start recognizing these questioning patterns as a signs of interest rather than just polite conversation, you'll approach interactions with much more confidence and clarity about where you stand with someone. Which of these signals have you noticed but totally ignored? Drop a number in the comments. Be honest. 6. The time investment. She makes herself available for you. Time is the most valuable resource any of us have. And when a woman consistently makes time for you in her schedule, that's one of the clearest indicators that she's interested in something more than just friendship. In today's world where everyone is busy with work, social obligations, hobbies, and personal responsibilities, the fact that someone chooses to spend their limited free time with you speaks volumes about how they feel. This isn't about her dropping everything the second you call or being available 24/7. That's not healthy for everyone. what we're talking about is consistent availability and effort to make plans happen even when life gets hectic. When a woman likes you, she rearranges her schedule, she suggests alternative times. If she can't make your first suggestion, and she'll initiate plans herself rather than always waiting for you to do it. The psychology here is simple but profound. We invest our time in things and people that we value. If she's constantly too busy or always has an excuse for why she can't meet up, that's usually a sign that you're not a priority for her, regardless of what she might say. On the flip side, when she's genuinely interested, she'll find ways to make it work. Maybe she suggests a meeting for coffee before work, or she invites you to join her at something she already had planned, or she stays up late talking to you even though she has to be up early the next morning. These are all indicators that your presence in her life matters to her. But here's what you need to watch out for. Make sure the time investment is reciprocal. If you're always the one suggesting plans, always the one adjusting your schedule, and always the one putting in effort to make things happen, that's an imbalance that needs to be addressed. Healthy relationships and successful dating situations require mutual investment from both people. In your everyday life, use this principle to gauge interest accurately. After you've hung out with someone once or twice, pay attention to how they respond when you suggest getting together again. Do they enthusiastically say yes and help nail down specific details? Or do they give vague responses and never commit to concrete plans? This will save you so much time and emotional energy because you'll stop chasing people who aren't interested and start focusing on the ones who are genuinely excited to spend time with you. And when you find someone who consistently shows up and makes time for you, recognize that, give for what it is, and make sure you're reciprocating with the same level of investment and enthusiasm. 7. The nervous energy, those adorable little signs of anxiety around you. This might surprise you, but when a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she often exhibits subtle signs of nervousness and anxiety in your presence, and understanding this can completely change how you interpret certain behaviors that you might have previously misread. We're talking about things like playing with her hair, fidgeting with her jewelry, touching her neck, adjusting her clothes, or having a slightly shakier voice than usual when she first starts talking to you. The reason this happens is actually beautiful from a psychological standpoint. When we're around someone we're attracted to, our body goes into a mild stress response because the stakes feel higher and we care about making a good impression. Her nervous system is literally reacting to your presence in a way that it doesn't react to people she's not interested in. This is especially true in the early stages of attraction when everything still feels new and uncertain. And now here's where a lot of guys get confused. news. They see a woman acting nervous around them and they interpret it as discomfort or disinterest. When in reality, it's often the exact opposite. She's nervous because she likes you and she's worried about saying the right thing or not being attractive enough or messing up her chances with you. Think about how you feel when you're talking to someone you really like. You probably get a bit nervous too, right? It's the same thing. The key is to distinguish between attracted nervous and uncomfortable nervous. Attracted nervous comes with other positive signals like smiling, eye contact, leaning in toward you, and engaging in the conversation despite the nervousness. Uncomfortable nervous usually comes with close body language, looking for escape routes, short responses, and a general energy of wanting the interaction to end. Once you understand this distinction, you'll start seeing those nervous behaviors as the compliments they actually are. When you notice a woman exhibiting these signs around you, the best thing you can do is create a comfortable, relaxed environment where she can let her guard down. Be warm, be genuine, don't put pressure on the interaction and give her a space to be herself. As she becomes more comfortable with you, that nervous energy typically transforms into playful, flirtatious energy, which is exactly what you want. In practical application, this means you should stop worrying so much about whether you're saying the perfect thing or being the most impressive version of yourself and instead focus on making the other person feel comfortable and accepted. And when both people can relax and be authentic, that's when real connection happens, and that's when you'll see attraction flourish naturally without all the anxiety and second guessing. 8. The social media test. How her digital behavior shows interest in modern dating landscape. Social media and digital communication have become integral parts of how attraction develops and how people signal their interest. And if you know what to look for, a woman's online behavior can tell you a lot about how she feels about you. This isn't about obsessively tracking her every move online or reading into every signal like and comment that's creepy and unhealthy. What we're talking about is recognizing genuine patterns of digital engagement that indicate real interest. When a woman is attracted to you, she'll interact with your social media in noticeable ways. She might be one of the first people to view your stories consistently. She'll like or comment on your post more frequently than she does for other people. She might send you memes or articles that remind her of you, or she'll use your Instagram or Snapchat stories as conversation starters. When you talk, the psychology behind this is that she's looking for ways to stay connected to you and to be on your radar even when you're not physically together. Social media gives her a window into your life and a low-stakes way to engage with you without seeming too forward or desperate. Here's something really important to understand. In the early stages of dating or getting to know someone, women often use social media as a tool to learn more about you and to drop breadcrumbs of interest. When she realizes to your story with more than just an emoji, when she references something you posted in your next conversation, or when she post things that seem designed to get your attention. These are all digital signals of interest. But here's the flip side that you absolutely need to know. If someone is constantly active on social media, posting regularly, viewing other people's content, but consistently ignoring your messages or never engaging with anything you post, that's a clear sign that you're not a priority for them. Actions speak louder than words, and digital actions are still actions. In terms of practical application in your daily life, here's what you should do. Use social media as one piece of the puzzle and not the whole picture. Don't rely solely on digital communication to build connections. Real in-person interactions are still the foundation of genuine relationships, but do pay attention to patterns of engagement as supporting evidence of interest. If she's engaging with you digitally and showing interest in person, that's a strong combination. And whether you don't play games with your own social media behavior, like posting things just to make someone jealous or deliberately not viewing someone's stories to seem aloof. That's manipulative and immature. Instead, be authentic in your digital presence, just like you should be in your real life presence, and let your genuine interest and personality shine through both online and offline. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment. 9. The future tag when she includes you in her tomorrow. One of the most significant psychological indicators that a woman is seriously interested in you is when she starts talking about future plans and naturally includes you in them, whether that's next week, next month, or even further down the line. This is huge because it shows that she's not just thinking about you in the present moment, she's imagining you as a part of her life going forward. Listen carefully to the language she uses in conversations. Does she say things like, we should check out that new restaurant when it opens next month, or you'd love this festival that happens every summer, or we need to binge watch this series together? These aren't throwaway comments. These are her way of testing the waters to see if you're thinking about a future together too. From a psychological perspective, when someone starts using we language instead of just I or you, it indicates that they're beginning to see you as a unit, as a partnership, as something more than just two individuals who occasionally hang out. This shift in language and thinking is a massive step in the progression from casual interest to something more serious. Pay attention to whether she asks about your future plans and tries to figure out how she might fit into them. Questions like, what are you doing for the holidays, or where do you see yourself living in a few years, aren't just a small talk when they're coming from someone who's interested in you. Their information gathering missions to assess compatibility and potential. Women tend to be more future oriented and they're thinking about relationships because they're typically the ones who have to consider bigger life factors like biological clocks, family planning, and long-term compatibility. So when she's bringing up future topics, she's essentially opening the door for you to show that you're on the same page about everything could go. Now, here's the critical part about how to handle this in real life. When a woman starts including you in her future plans, don't panic and don't pull away out of a fear of a commitment. You don't have to purpose a marriage just because she mentioned doing something together next month. What you should do is reciprocate appropriately based on where you actually are in a relationship. If you're interested in her too, make your own references to future plans that include her. Say things like, we should definitely do that, or I'd love to show you this place sometimes. This validates her interest and shows that you're thinking along the same lines. On the other hand, if you're not interested in anything serious with this person, you need to be honest about that sooner rather than later. Don't string someone along or go along with future type just to keep them interested when you have no intention of following through. That's disrespectful and hurtful. The ability to recognize and appropriately respond to future talk is a crucial relationship skill that will serve you well throughout your entire dating life. So start paying attention to these patterns now. 10. The energy shift, how her whole vibe changes when you're around. The final and perhaps a most holistic signal that a woman is attracted to you is something that's harder to describe in concrete terms, but is absolutely unmistakable once you learn to recognize it. It's the overall energy shift that happens when you enter her space or when she's in your presence. This isn't about any signal behavior or gesture, it's about the totality of how she shows up when you're around versus how she's in other contexts. When a woman is attracted to you, her energy becomes more animated, more engaged, more alive. She might talk a bit faster, laugh a bit more, become more expressive with her hands and face, and generally seem more present and forced than she is in other situations. This energy shift happens because attraction is inherently exciting and energizing. When she sees you or knows she's about to see you, her brain releases a cocktail of neurotransmitters, including dopamine, which creates feelings of pleasure and excitement, and norepinephrine, which increases alertness and attention. Essentially, you become a source of positive stimulation for her nervous system, and her body responds accordingly. You can often see this shift happen in real time. Maybe you walk into a party and you notice that her face lights up when she sees you. Maybe her voice changes a pitch slightly when she's talking to you compared to when she's talking to others, and maybe she straightens her posture, plays with her hair, or unconsciously positions herself to face you directly. These are all manifestations of that energy shift. The beautiful thing about this signal is that it is very difficult to fake authentically because it involves so many micro expressions and subtle changes in behavior that happen automatically When genuine attraction is present, here's how you can use this awareness in your daily life. Start paying attention to how people's energy changes in different social contexts and with different people. You'll begin to notice that everyone has a baseline energy level, and then that energy either increases or decreases depending on how they're interacting with. When you notice that someone's energy consistently elevates when you're around, they seem happier, more engaged, more talkative, more interested in the conversation. That's a strong indicator of positive feelings toward you, whether that's friendship or romantic interest or both. The key is to look at the whole picture rather than fixating on any single signal. Attraction is really about just one thing, it's about the accumulation of many small signals that together paint a clear picture. When you see multiple signals from this entire list showing up consistently, the mirroring, the eye contact, the touch, the laughter, the questions, the time investment, the nervous energy, the social media engagement, the future talk, and this energy shift, then you can be confident that real interest is there. At that point, your job is simply to reciprocate that interest authentically and let the connection develop naturally without overthinking it or playing games. A real attraction between two people is a beautiful thing, and when you learn to recognize it and honor it, your entire approach to dating and relationships transforms from one of confusion and second guessing to one of clarity and confidence. Thank you so much for watching the whole video and subscribing. Good vibes.